Hello. Yeah, hi, very good evening to all of you. I hope my voice is loud and clear to everyone. Hey, hi, Rama. So let's just start in 2 minutes. I think the people are still joining in, so just wait for 2 minutes and then let's just start it. Okay, so I think we can start now. So we have the people joined in. Yeah. So I request all of you to please open up the file that we were using yesterday. Right. So what we did was we had created the four charts. So sales by subcategory, sales by profit, sales and profit by region, sales by segment, and sales versus profit by customers. So before I move ahead, right, is there anything you would like to discuss? So there was an assignment also that I shared with all of you. So maybe you know what we can do is we can discuss that also in a little bit later part if you guys have attempted it. Okay. See, now you know what we're going to do over here. See, we have seen a couple of charts that we have created right now, right? There are four charts that we have created. So how we work in Tableau is, first of all, you start making your charts, right? You start making your charts, individual charts that you have to create, you start building them up. The next part is you all have to create a dashboard, right? Now, what is a dashboard? I think we discussed this part, right? Dashboard is something where you can see the complete analysis in one single view. That is something that is called as a dashboard. Right now we have the four charts, but they are all in the four different views. So what we do, the next part over here is, you see there is a small section that you will see over here. When you click on this, this adds a sheet. And if you will click on this is going to add a dashboard. Okay. You have to click on this icon now. So if you click on this icon, this is going to add a dashboard over here. Right. So this is a blank canvas where we create the dashboard. So all of you, please click on that. Okay. So now if you open this up, this dashboard over here, now on the dashboard, what you do is you will see the view is a little different. Over here, you don't see that data pane and all, right? You don't have the data pane over here. Instead you have sheets pane. You see the 4 charts that you have created. You can see the 4 charts over here. Now it's simple stuff, right? You have to just drag and drop the sheets to create your dashboard. Now this is the canvas where space available for building the dashboard. The first thing over here is if you feel that the space is less, you have the option of size, right? So if you click on the size over here, you can increase the width if you want. You can increase the height or decrease the height, whatever you want. Okay, so I'll keep it up till here and I'll increase the width. So this is to increase the size of your dashboard. The next thing is after you change the size, you just have to drag and drop the sheets. So first of all, you pick up the map and drop it over here. Just pick up the map and drop it. Okay. The next thing is you pick the second chart, click it, and now just hover. Wherever you want to keep that chart, you can decide. Suppose you want to place the chart at the bottom. Now drop it over here. Similarly, bring the third chart, place it. Fourth chart, place it. And you can now notice the 4 charts are ready. Okay. Are you all able to put it? The 4 charts? Okay, perfect. So now you know what we're going to do over here. First of all, if you see, this title is not bold. Let me make this bold.
Amit,
Uh-huh.
Amit, for me, it's not like I couldn't make it 4 equal dashboards. It's like one is small and one is big. So the sales and segment occupied the right portion of my dashboard.
You can resize it if you want. You think the size small or less, you can just resize it like this. Okay, if you want to move it, so suppose you place this chart somewhere wrong. Suppose this chart came over here. So you want to move that chart, you can just click on that chart, and from here you can move it wherever you want.
Okay. Okay. Definitely. Thanks.
Now for this chart, right? So what we're going to do is this chart that we have created. These are nothing, right? These are just the reference, right? These are just the reference of the sheets. Whatever you have on the sheet, the same thing is replicated on the dashboard. Suppose if you click on this chart right now, you want to go its sheet. You want to go to its sheet. If you click on this icon over here, go to sheet. It will take you to that sheet. If you make any change over here, right? Suppose these numbers that you see right now, these numbers are coming, in a very raw format. Let's do one thing. The numbers that we have kept on the labels, let me just format this and let's show the numbers in the form of a currency in millions, right? So now you see I'm showing the numbers in the millions. So now I've made a change over here. If I'll come to the dashboard, you will notice the same thing is reflected over here as well. Okay. So how to go to the sheet? Just click on this icon, go to sheet. Okay. Next part is, so you can all just format it a little bit if you want, if you all are doing the formatting of the numbers. So please let me know if you get any challenge in that. So, there is a small tip that I would like to give you over here. You see there are a lot of fields that you see right now. Okay. You can, recognize from this icon. You all will see the color of icon is this. You can see the icon over here. That means the segment is being used on the color. This is angle. That means this field of sales is used on angle, and this sum of sale is used on size. The segment is again used on the label also. You can see from this symbol T, and you can see this sum of sale is used on the label again, right? So you can recognize that field, like on what part of the tableau it is being used. So you can see that over here it is being used right now.
Amit, can you please repeat the number formatting?
Sorry.
Can you please repeat the number formatting?
Okay. So what we've done over here is, this is the sales value on the label, right? So because I have to format these numbers. Now how these numbers are coming? These numbers are coming because of this sum of sales which I have placed on the label. You can see this label symbol over here. This label symbol is over here.
Right.
So what I've done was, I simply right click on this field and say format. So formatting pane will open up where you can do some formatting on the numbers, on the labels that we have kept. So from here, if you want to change the font, you can change the font style, right? You want to make it bold, you can do all that part over here from this. Same way, if you want to basically change the formatting of the numbers, you can click on this. Over here, you have the number format, currency, standard. So you choose currency custom. From here, you will find the option display units. You want to display the numbers in the form of millions or thousands, you can choose that from here. And you can choose the prefix $sign that will come by default. If you want to put some another prefix, you can do that also.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Amit.
Yeah.
What will happen if I do the formatting under totals and grand totals?
Total grand total as in?
On the
This one?
left-hand side, yeah.
See, these are like, because right now in this chart we don't have totals and grand totals right now. But if you want to show totals and all, we can do that. So in this chart, you won't be able to do it, right? So you have the option of totals over here, right? So you want to show some totals and all. So it will not come in this, but it comes in the bar chart. So if like this is a bar chart, if I come over here on the analysis, you want to show some total, right? So what you can do is you can show grand total if you want. So now you see there's a grand total. Now you want to format the labels.
Whatever we are able to do, it's based on the data which we are incorporating in the sheet.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now what you're going to do over here is, if you see this chart, this dashboard right now is not very much presentable. So what I'll do now is I'll click on the layout. You see there's an option of layout. If you click on the layout, what you can do is you can select the chart and you can apply the borders around the charts if you want, right? You can select the chart one by one and you have the option of border.
Amit, I have one question. So can I change the layout to portrait or landscape? Is there an option to change? I think mine is in portrait.
So you don't have such, you will have to actually have to just rearrange that part. As in you want to increase the width or height, you will have to do it from here.
Okay. Okay.
So again, I'll apply the borders around the charts right now. See, so we have applied some borders around the charts to make it look a little more neat. Okay. What you can also do is you want to put some dashboard title. You will see if you click on the dashboard back, at the bottom over here, you will find an option of show dashboard title. So if you click on this, this is going to bring the dashboard title at the top. You can write some dashboard titles. Suppose this is Superstore analysis. So you can put a title at the top. You can click on the format dashboard. You can give some shading effect if you want. You want to give some background shading, you can do that. Okay. Now, I hope you all are with me. Anyone, any questions up to there? So now you know what you can do over here is now over here I'm going to tell you a very exciting feature. Now that feature is called as action filter. Okay, what is an action filter? Action filter is basically a property. It's a property where the chart itself acts like a filter. So this is what we have. This is called as an action filter. Right? So how do we use this action filter is, let me show you. So what you do is you select this chart. Okay, just select the map. On the map over here, you are going to find you will find the option of filter. You see there is a small funnel icon. If you click on this funnel icon, right? If you click on this funnel icon, what will happen is this map will start acting like a filter now. Suppose if you click over here on New York, all the charts have got filtered and now they are showing you the data for New York only. If you click on Texas, again the charts are filtered and they are now showing the data for Texas. If you click on Minnesota, again the charts have got filtered and then now they are now showing the data for Minnesota. So whatever location you will select, right, the data gets filtered according to that. So basically the chart is now acting like a filter over here. So all of you please try this out. And this way, you can make any chart work like a filter. Suppose if you click this chart and you click over here on this use as filter. Now this chart can also work like a filter, right? So if you click on segment consumer, everywhere the data is now filtered for consumer segment. If you click corporate, data is filtered for corporate. So every chart can be made to use like a filter now. Are you able to do it? Okay, right. So now this is, where this is the first dashboard that you all have created. Okay, now what we're going to do is we will just save this and we will move on to the next part of this, the Tableau. I'll be coming back to the action filter in a lot more detail, but right now I will like to keep it up till here. Okay, so let's save this file. So you can save this and open a new file.
Hi Amit, I have a doubt in saving these things.
Hmm.
When we save this total file, and when
Hmm.
I open it in the web page, it is showing me only one sheet on which I saved that one. How can I go
No,
see
no,
the?
it shows you everything. See, let me show you. So let me save it. So I override the previous one. See, it saves everything in one go only. It is like we have 5 views, so like 4 sheets and one dashboard. So everything is saved in one go.
But yeah, I can see you have 4 views in this, 3 views in this, but I don't know how to open those views.
Actually. What happens is all the sheets are visible. Just loading the sheet in the meantime. I show you when you scroll it down, at the bottom you will find all the sheet names. So on whatever sheet you will click, it will show you that one.
Okay. In the center page, it will show only the picture representation, and in the down, I can select the sheets.
The sheet that you want to see. Right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Just loading it up. I'll just show you. Right. So this is the dashboard, and dashboard will have all the features. Right. If you click over here, now the data will be filtered according to that. You see, it's filtering the data. It's working a little slow. I think it's due to the internet. Otherwise, it doesn't take that much time. So when you open this, any sheet that you open from here, so it's going to open that sheet only.
So can we do changes in the sheets also in here?
No, not over here. You won't be able to edit anything on this.
Only
But if you
dashboards we can change here.
no, you cannot change the dashboard also. I mean,
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
editing you cannot do. You cannot do any editing. Editing has to be done on the Tableau Public only. You make the change and you republish it.
Okay. We are able to do the filter here because we did it in the actual sheet, right?
So
Okay.
if you have applied that functionality over here,
Mhm.
so if that feature you have applied over here, so the feature of filtration will work over here also.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So now I'm just sharing all a file with. I'm just sharing one data set with all of you, which we are going to now use. Okay. So I'll share it on the WhatsApp only, right? Like we did yesterday. Okay. So I've shared a file. Okay. Now this is the file that I've shared with all of you. UK bank customers. Now, you know, in this activity, we are going to explore a lot of things about the tablet. Okay. Now, this data set is basically something in which what we have is we have the information related to the customers of a UK bank. Okay. So you will notice over here that what we have is we have the information as in the ID of the customer, what is the name of the customer, what is the gender, age, from which region of UK, you know, he became the member of the bank, and what is the type of job he is doing, and when did he join the bank, and what is the balance that he has in his account. So this is the kind of a data that we have. Now, if I ask you all, right, if this is the data that you have, so what are the kind of analysis you can do from here? Can you share that? What type of different analysis you will be able to do? So gender analysis, customer versus balance, age demographics, okay. Eight. Yeah, so all of you are giving the correct outputs, right? I mean the correct the things over here. So if I just try to jot them down, right? So what we can do is, for if I start from the region, so first is I can do a region analysis, right? I can try to figure out that, you know, how many customers do I have from the different regions, right? How many customers do I have from England? How many customers do I have from South Wales, from Wales, you know, the Northern Ireland, etc. Then I can do an analysis on the basis of gender, right? I can do a gender analysis, that how many males do I have and how many females do I have. We can do analysis on the basis of the age, right? Age analysis, whether do we have more of young customers, adult customers, or senior customers, right? We can do analysis on the basis of job classification, or maybe balance, you know, balance analysis. Balance as in, you know, whether the people are keeping more balance with the bank or they are keeping the less balance, right? That is the balance analysis. We can do a job classification analysis, right? What type of job most of the customers are doing, whether the people are doing white collar job or a blue collar job, or etc., right? So this is basically, these are the type of analysis that we can do on this data right now. Now if I ask you, okay, that this is the analysis that we can do. Now what will be the benefit of this? Can anyone think, right? Okay, if you make a report in which you are able to show all these analysis, so what will be the benefit of this report to the bank? How will the bank use it? Okay, so if the bank is able to get to know that which region has bank more customers, so how could it be useful for the bank? Yeah, so basically, you know, what they can do is, if suppose, you know, they find out that the customer has more of young customers but less of senior customers, so bank can, you know, bring some new offers and policies. They can try to attract more, you know, the senior customers by offering them higher rate of interest, right? If they see that the people are keeping low balance, if all the people, if most of the people have less balance in their account, they can go to the customer and they can, you know, sell some loan. They can ask them to take the loan from them, and if the customers are having more balance, they can go and ask them to invest their money into some of their products, right? So this is how that report could be useful, because they will be able to utilize that numbers to take some decisions, so that, you know, they can generate more revenues and profits. That is what the whole idea would be, that, you know, the report that we are creating, it gives them some insights, and on top of that, the bank is also able to take some new decisions. So keeping that into the mind, what we are going to do is we are going to do these analysis now. Okay. And for doing the different analysis, you know, in this we are going to learn a lot of new things. So for doing regional analysis, we will create a map, right? For doing gender analysis, we will create a pie chart. For doing age analysis, we are going to create a histogram. And for balance also, we will create a histogram. And for job classification, we will create a bubble chart, right? So we are going to create these kind of different charts. And every analysis is going to, over here, you will learn something new. In every analysis, you're going to learn some new features of Tableau. Okay, so that is why I'm saying this is a very important the activity that we are going to do now. So now, in order to do the analysis, you all will be using Tableau Public, but I will be using the Tableau license software. Okay, I will use Tableau license software over here today in order to do this activity, because I would like to show you certain features which are available only in Tableau Public, in the license software, but not in Tableau Public. Okay. So the first feature that we have discussed already was that Tableau license software can be connected to a lot of data sources, but Tableau Public cannot be connected. So I have to load the data from text file. So I'll click on text file. So you all will also click on text file and go to that folder, right? And you will pick up the data for UK Bank customers. Sorry, I have picked up the wrong file, I guess. Okay, so all of you please load the data and let me know if you all are able to see the data now in your tablet. Okay, done. Okay. See now, over here on this data, the first thing that we are going to do or explore over here is, let me tell you, see, now this is the first feature that you will not find in the Tableau Public, and that is the connection. You see at the top, this connection is something that is not there in your Tableau Public. Okay. Plus, just give me a moment, please. Hello. Yeah, sorry, class. Just got in the call. So there was a question that was being asked. Date joined. Okay, so you're saying, so date joined is not coming in the date format, because uh, if you will see the dates over here, they are not in the right format. Okay, I mean, if you will see, it's the not a correct format how the dates are written. So what you can do is, if you come back to this tableau right now, so you can just click over here on this, and you can change it into the date format, and then it will convert it, right? So now if you see, it has now converted into the proper format. Okay, so you can just change this from here. Now, if you will see over here, there is a feature that you see connection type. Now, this connection is something that will not come in your Tableau public. This is going to come only in your Tableau license software, that is live and extract. Now, what is this live and what is extract? So let me try to explain you this. Okay, so live. So in live, what happen is data flows directly from source to Tableau. Okay, data will flow directly from source to Tableau. Basically, what is the source in this case? Source is the text file. And what is the, and we have Tableau. So what is happening right now is when the mode of connection is live, data comes directly from the text file to the Tableau interface. Clear? But when you use the option of extract, if you will choose the option of extract, in the case of extract, what will happen is you have a text file. Text file will be converted. Data from the text file will come into a Tableau data extract, TDE, Tableau data extract. So I'll tell you what exactly it is. Just Tableau data extract. And from this extract, the data will come to the Tableau now. Okay, this is something that is going to happen. Okay, so basically data will come from Tableau to a text file to the extract, and this extract will be used from where the data will come to the Tableau. Basically, there is a new layer. There is a layer that will be created between Tableau and the source file in which that data will be stored. Okay, in which the data will be stored. So this is called as TDE, Tableau data extract. Okay, TDE. Now in this TDE, all that data will be stored. All that data is going to be stored over here in this. So now what happens in this case is, why do we use the option of TDE is because when you create an extract, right? When you create an extract, Tableau will compress the data. Tableau will compress the data, which results in better performance. Okay, when you create an extract, Tableau compresses the data, which helps in the better performance. So now if you come over here, so let me just erase all these things. If I click on extract now, okay, you can see over here, this is the extract that I've created, and you can see also import your data into Tableau's fast data engine, extract. Okay, and when the extract is created, extract will be created when you click on the sheet one. See, the moment I will click on sheet one, what Tableau is going to do, Tableau is going to create a Tableau data extract, and it will save this. So I can save it anywhere, right? I can save it anywhere I want. So I'm saving it over here now. So what has now happened is, if I'll go to this folder right now, if I'll come over here, you will see this extract. Where has it gone? Here it is. So this is the extract that has been created. You notice this is a Tableau extract. Now what has happened is, from that CSV file, from that text file, the data is saved in this. From this, the data is coming in the Tableau. That is how the data is flowing. So as a result, because this extract has compressed the data, so as a result of which the Tableau is going to perform faster. Are you all with me? Are you able to get it? What extract is?
Okay, so do we have to always create extract first?
So it totally depends, right? So generally, when we work with big data sets, we create the extract first. So we'll have to create the extract first. But if your data set is not very big, you can go with the live connection also. So extract is useful only in that case where the data sizes are big. Okay.
So, let's say right now this is a text file through which we are creating the extract, and which is saved locally, right?
Huh.
The extract first needs to be saved locally. Like we take the system data and we save it locally, and then we feed it in Tableau.
You can save it locally also. You want to save it on the cloud, you can save it on the cloud also. So you can save it anywhere. This extract can be saved anywhere. So, because there's a concept of server. Remember in the first session we were discussing, there are Tableau servers, on premises and online server. So what you do is when you publish the report, you can publish the extract also. So this extract will be saved on the Tableau server in that case.
So what is the benefit? Like what we understood is that the text file is there locally, and then we created an extract and entered the data in Tableau. What is the benefit of doing this?
The benefit is because in the extract, the data is compressed, right? So what has happened is like you had the data in this text file. The data from this text file is extracted and it is saved in this extract over here. That same data is saved over here. But the thing is that the file in this extract, the data is compressed. Now it is the Tableau's way of storing the data. Now what is happening is this Tableau file that I have, it is now getting the data from this extract, not from the CSV.
So if we this modification in Tableau using this extract file, will it save it in this file over here? Like, will it make a permanent change?
Sorry, change as in?
So if we make now, because this is saved as a Tableau extract, we can't edit it unless we are using it in Tableau, right?
You can't edit it. You can't make any change till the time you use it in the Tableau right now.
So if we are making any changes in Tableau, does it automatically update the changes over here in the extract? Does it?
The extract will have only the data, right? Extract will only have the data, nothing apart from that. When you are talking about changes, are you talking about the charts, that if you create any chart in the Tableau, will that be saved over here? Are you talking about that?
I'm saying, let's say if we create a calculated field and there is another column added. So will it get saved in this extract permanently as part of this?
Yes, that will be saved in the extract permanently. So extract will not save the calculated field, right? Calculated fields are something that are created in the Tableau only. They are not created in the extract. Extract will only have the data that you have in the CSV file. Getting it?
So it is static data then.
Sorry.
Huh?
It is static data then. It's not gonna change. We can't change this data once extracted.
It will change. It will change if suppose tomorrow you add some more data in the CSV. Okay. If I suppose I add more data in the CSV. So definitely if you have more data in the CSV, you will like to update that in that extract also. Correct?
Right.
So that in your Tableau you get the latest data. So you can refresh that. You can refresh it. If you come over here, if you come on the sheet, when you right click on this, right, you have an option to refresh the extract. So you can refresh it. So when you click on refresh the extract, what will happen is, what Tableau will do is, it will go in this extract and it will refresh the data. So in the refresh, what is going to happen is this extract will hit the CSV file and bring the latest data from there. So it's static for that data that is there for that particular moment. But yes, you can update that extract as well.
Okay, got it. And live would be something like we can connect to a server or some application.
So live is something, wherein the data comes directly from that CSV or an Excel file to the Tableau. There is no intermediate source. You have directly connected your Tableau with the Excel. That's it. That's what a live connection is. If you click on the live, so there is no intermediate part. Data is coming directly from that extract or from that file to the Tableau interface. That's it.
And whatever we change in the Excel, again, we can refresh it into that live.
You will just refresh it over. When you click on refresh, the same thing will come in the Tableau also.
Okay, this same logic works with the SQL Server as well. If we fetch data from SQL Server, then
it will work over there also. Like for example, if you click over here, data source. you want to fetch the data from SQL Server, you can just click on the Microsoft SQL Server over here. You have to put that information of your server.
We all can practice this if we can download the desktop version, right, of Tableau,
Yeah.
because
We will be able to,
because we have SQL Server installed.
so you will be able to use for 14 days. So see, you have all the databases now. If I pick
Okay.
that database, any one of this, let's pick any database. So it will start showing you the tables. I think it's empty one.
Amit, what is the real-time use of this extract and live other than storage space?
I'll tell you, just see. If I now bring this data over here, orders. So if you see now, I'm bringing this data from the SQL Server. Now you get the same live and extract over here also. Okay, so that will work everywhere.
Okay, so I have one question related to this only. So do we have to fetch data from tables only or from views in
You can get
SQL
it from
Server?
views also. You can get the data from views also. If you have a view created, you can pull the data from view as well.
Okay,
Or
but
if you
what should be the best practice?
see, it's totally depends. See, view is something you would have created on the tables only, right? And generally what we do is in the views, it's more like saving a query. So you create a view so that you want to see a specific data that, you know, that after creating certain joins and putting some where clause and all, you want to see some specific data. That is where you create a view. So if you think that the kind of data that you need is being stored in the view, so view is ultimately nothing, right? View is also something that is going to hit the table only. The table data is going to come from the table only.
Correct.
Right? So you can use any one of them. It totally depends on what your requirement is.
Okay, thank you.
And if you want to write your SQL query, you can write the SQL query also, right? Like for example, if you remove this, you want to write your own SQL query, you can write that SQL query as well. Suppose if I say select start from orders where sales is greater than 500. So I now only that data will be pulled where the sale is more than 500.
Okay, so I don't have to open the SQL Server again for this. I can do
you can
it
write
here.
your own query. You can just click on OK and the data will come according to that code. You see now the same data everywhere the sale would be more than 500 now. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to undo this, how can we undo this? If you want to see all the...
You want to remove this?
Hmm.
Just remove this table from here, but the connection is still there. You want to close the connection, so click on data and say close connection, close data source. So this will be gone. Now I'm back to that UK bank data that we were using. So we are back to that. Okay. So now let's come to the sheet one. Okay. So the first chart that we are going to create over here is that is the regional analysis. Right. So we will be doing the regional analysis over here. So in the regional analysis, what we are going to do is we are going to create a map where I would like to see that how many customers do I have from the different regions of UK. Okay. So all of you, can you please tell me, will I be able to create a map over here?
No.
No, because region is in ABC format.
Right. So because region is in the ABC format and you can see it is not being read as a geographical data and you don't see even latitudes and longitudes also. So the map will not be created. If you bring the region over here, the map will not be created. Okay. So now, first of all, I need to convert, but I know, right? Because from the data, I know that this is actually geographical data. This is a geographical data, right? This is something that you can plot on the map. So what I can do now is, if I right click on the region, I can say geographical role. I can assign a geographical road. I can say that, the data that we have in this column region, this is a data of state and province of UK. If you think that data is of an airport, you can select airport. If you think that is a area code, you can use area code. And if it is a state or province, so these are like the state and province of UK. So I will say that these are the states and province of UK. So I am saying that the data that we have in this column, these are the states and provinces, right? So the moment I say state and province, I have assigned a geographical road. Now I have told Tableau that this is the kind of data that I have in this column. And right away you can notice latitudes and longitudes are generated. Okay. Now what I do is, if I bring the region over here, so a map is created, but on the map I cannot see anything. Right? Rather, if you will see something over here, I am getting a message over here, 4 unknown. That there are some 4 locations which are unknown, which Tableau is not able to plot. Okay. So you click on 4 unknown, you will get the message, edit the location. So, there are 4 locations that Tableau was not able to plot. So let's edit that location. Now there are 4 locations in the data. One is England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. All of the 4 locations are unrecognized. Can anyone tell me why it is not able to recognize them?
The countries?
Sorry?
Are they countries? The geography is horrible. So,
answer is over here on the screen only.
The country is United States listed.
So basically what Tableau is doing, Tableau is trying to find these locations in United States. But these locations are in United Kingdom. So I will use United Kingdom over here. The moment I choose the right country, you can see it has been able to find the location, matching location. And you click on OK. And there we see all the 4 locations are mapped on the chart. Getting it? See now, these are some problems that you can always have with the Tableau now. Suppose, I give you some data. Okay. If there is some data that I give for some different locations, right? If I give you some data of some locations, now in the locations I am writing over here as New York, right? I write, say suppose Minnesota, right? I write suppose Illinois. So if I write some locations over here, now you see over here in this, the spelling of New York are wrong, right? If suppose the spelling of some location are wrong in your data, now Tableau will not be able to plot it because Tableau doesn't know that which location is this because the spellings are wrong. So you will have to correct that thing in your data, or you will have to correct that thing in the Tableau itself. Sometime it can happen, many times it happens that we have some locations which are present in multiple states or cities, right? Suppose there is a New York available at multiple places. So again, Tableau will get confused that whether you are referring to the New York in US or you are referring to the New York in UK. I'm just giving you a hypothetical example. So if these kind of challenges happen, so Tableau doesn't plot the data because Tableau doesn't know what exactly information has to be showcased. Okay, so that is something that we have to take care of. That when you have multiple, if you have the same location, the location that you have is present at multiple countries. So in that case, it can create a confusion for the Tableau and it will not plot it. So in that case, you will have to come back to the Tableau and you will start getting the message over here, edit location, and you will have to edit that location manually by yourself. I hope all of you are able to get the point. Okay. So now if you see over here, we have plotted the locations. But what I would like to do now is, definitely the map is ready, but I cannot see how many customers do I have from Northern Ireland, how many customers do I have from Scotland, Wales, and this England. So how can I see the count? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone suggest how we can see the count over here? Can I say? Can I use
customer ID?
right, count of customer ID? Right. If
Yes.
I count the customer IDs, I will be able to get the number of customers. Or I will show you a better example of that. Whenever you load the data in Tableau, there is always one field that gets created. This is a field that automatically this Tableau has created. This is not something that I have created. This is a field that Tableau has created, count, and it gets created every time, right? Even if I open the previous file over there also, you will notice this count field. You have this count over here also, right? So this count field gets created every time. So I can use actually this field also. So what I can do is, if I bring this count and put this on the label, so it shows me that there are 2,159 customers from England, 522 customers from Wales, 211 customers from Northern Ireland, and 1100 customers from Scotland. Right, so I can see the count of customers from the 4 locations. Clear to all of you?
Yes. Is there a way to choose distinct values?
So if you just right click on this field, right, so you have this option of right now I'm using count field only. Let me not use count field. Let me bring this customer ID field, right? If I bring the customer ID field on the label, okay, so you can change the calculation measure to, you have count, and you can use count distinct also. Okay, if I use count, what is going to give me this? The same number we are getting over here also, and IDs are any which ways unique only, right? Because all the customer IDs are unique. So even if I will use count distinct also, it is going to give me the same number.
Okay.
So we can give a title over here. Customers by region. Okay. Now, I hope all of you are able to create this. Now let's add a new sheet. Now over here, we have to do the analysis, gender analysis. I want to see how many males and females does the bank have. So all of you, please create this chart. I want to see how many male and female do I have, and you all have to create a pie chart for this. Yep. Anyone who has done it? So we can use the gender, right? I can bring the count again. This will create a bar chart. But what I can do is I can click on the show me and make it into a pie chart, right? And from this, from here, what I can do is I'll bring this chart into an entire view. So these are the male and these are the female. Right? Now what I will do over here is, let me put the gender on the label and let us put the count also on the label. Okay. And this is gender by analysis by gender. Now in this analysis, first of all, please let me know if you all are able to make this the same thing. Okay. So now what we're going to do over here is, see, generally, whenever we think of pie chart, what comes to our mind is percentages, right? Don't you think it will be better that if I show the output in the form of a percentage now, what percentage are male and what percentage are female, right? So now if I have to calculate the percentage of male, how will I get it? I will say male, count of male divided by the overall count total. That is how I will get the percentage, correct? Now, in order to do that calculation, in the Tableau, we have a feature which is called as table calculation. Okay, we have something called as table calculation. In the table calculation, we can do the on the fly calculations. Okay, we can do the on the fly calculations. It's very simple, very easy. I'll show you. See, where I have to do the calculation, I have to do the calculation on the label, this label that I have. So what I'll do is, if I'll right click on this label, you will find an option of quick table calculation, right? So this label that I have to change into the percentage, this is at that label. Right click on this, you will find the option of quick table calculation. Now, if you have to do the quick table calculation, you can do running total, difference, percent of total, rank, percentile. These are the calculations that you can do. Now, which calculation do I need to use? I have to use percent of total. Let's do it. And right away, you can notice the numbers are changed into the percentage format.
One question here.
Uh-huh.
I tried to do this percentages, but I was doing format and then changing it to percentage. That was not working. That was giving a much larger number.
Because in that case, what you're doing is you are converting that same number only, that the number that you are having, this number into percentage. So it is going to multiply this number with 100. That is a formatting. But before we convert into a percentage, first of all, I need to do that calculation, that this number divided by the overall total. So to do that, that is why we use quick table calculation. We did that calculation over here, that I want to calculate the percentage of total. So that gives me the correct percentage. So if you add these together, it should come as 100%.
Okay.
Okay. So shall I move ahead? And what you can do is right now, if you see the percentage is coming up to third decimal place. Don't you think if you right click on this and format it, let's keep the decimal place only up till one decimal. So this is how we can keep it 54 and 46. Okay. Now what we're going to do is let's add another sheet in this. Now over here, we are going to do the next analysis, that is age analysis. Now this is again over here, you're going to learn something new over here. Right, so on the age, in the age analysis, what we are going to do is we are going to figure out that does the bank have more of young customers or the middle-aged customers or the senior customers, right? This is the kind of an analysis that I want to do. So how do you think, how will I do it? How will I achieve it? What steps shall I follow?
I guess we have to create the conditions.
Okay.
I guess for that calculated field must be created.
So, we will be able to do it without it. See, let me tell you, the first challenge that we are going to have is how will the chart look like? So let me show you. So if I take a look at a chart, so we will go step by step. I need to create a chart where I would like to see how many people do I have who are of 15 years, how many people do I have who are of 16 years. So I would like to first of all create a chart where I would like to see how many people do I have of different age, right? This is the chart that I want to create, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, up till 70, 80, 90, whatever is the highest age of customer that we have in our bank. Okay, so how will I do that? Now the first thing that we will get over here is, if you see, we have a field of age. Now what is age? Age is coming as a measure. If you will bring the age over here, what Tableau will do is Tableau is going to sum it up because it is coming under measures. But I don't want to sum the age. I want all the age independently, right? Like if I show you the data source, I have 21, 34. I want to see all these unique ages on my chart. So what I will have to do in this case is right now is I will have to first convert my age into a dimension. If I convert the age into a dimension, now if I bring the age over here, Tableau will not sum it. Tableau will give me the independent age. 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it is giving me the independent age over here. It has not summed it. Making sense to all of you?
Amit, we can't have same column in both values and names.
Sorry, your voice is very low.
Okay, no, can we have the same row in both balance and both the segments, both column and row?
We can have age.
Yeah, because when we move the age, it goes to the top, right? So we can we have it in both places?
Okay, you're saying age over here also and age over here also. That's what you ask. No, so you have to make a copy of that. You can make a duplicate of this, and then you can move that duplicate copy over here. You cannot have the same field at two places.
Okay.
Can we club the ages? Like it's showing every individual value right now. But if we want to plot it on a x-axis, then we need like 15, 20 interval. The interval can we decide?
That is what we will be doing. That is the next step that we will do. That is the next step that we are going to do. Okay. So first of all, what I've done is, first of all, we are going to make a normal chart. So now I want to see how many people are of 15 years, how many people are of 17 years. So I can use the count field again. This will create a chart for me. Right. So if I now take a look at this chart, now this is telling me that, like there was one customer who was of 15 year. There are 4 customers who are of 17 year. There are 30 customers who are of 18 year. So what is the insight that I get from this chart? So if I take a look at it,
34 years, have more customers with 34 years.
Right. Yeah, 30 to 40, right? If I see between 30 to 40, we have the highest number of customers who are lying in the age of 30 to 40. When the age is very less, the customers are very low. When the age is high, the customers are again very low. Right? This is what I see. So in the middle age, the customers are the highest. right? So now what I can do over here is, but definitely, this chart is very, very wide right now. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The bank will not say that, okay, if a person, so we have more people with the age of 18, let's launch a policy that if your age is 16 or 17, you will get this offer. If your age is 19 and 20, you will get this offer. No, they are not going to do this, roll out any offers in that way. Don't you think it will make more sense if I make, like as you were mentioning, if we create intervals? I would like to see how many people do I have between the age group of 15 to 20, 21 to 25, 26 to 30. That is something that will make more sense over here. So that concept is called as bins, right? And what we are going to do now is we are going to create a chart which is called as histogram. Now histogram is a type of a chart. This chart is used for frequency distribution. Okay, this chart is used for frequency distribution. Now, how do we use it for frequency distribution? For that, what I will do first is I would like to show you the images of it so that you can all understand it. See, now this is a histogram. Now this is exactly how a histogram looks like. If you see, a histogram will always show you frequency count. So how many people do I have between the, who are having the weight between 132 to 134, 134 to 136, 136 to 138. So you can see the count. So histogram always shows you the count only. If you see over here, right, how many trees do I have, do we have, which have the height between 60 to 65, 65 to 70, 70 to 75, 75 to 80. Now it looks like a bar chart, but it is not a bar chart, right? Because in the bar chart, you can have a sum also, average also, minimum also, maximum also. But histogram is something that will always show you count only. It is always going to give you the count only. Okay. So now for that, what we do is, if I come back to this tableau right now, over here, I will be creating a histogram out of this chart. So in the histogram, we have a concept of bins, right? What is bins? Bins means basically there are two things that we talk of. One is called as bins and one is called as bin size. There are two things that we talk. Bins means number of bars. Okay. And bin size means the size of the bar, right? Suppose if I say I have the data of the customers between the age of 10 to 90, right? In my data, I have the data of those customers who have the age between 10 to 90. Okay. Now, if I say between 10 to 90, I have the age, I want 10 bins. 10 bins means 10 to 19, 19 to 28, 28 to 37. So that I get 10 bars, right? Bins means that I want to have 10 bars, right? So I will be breaking the data of between 10 to 90 into such a way that I should get 10 bars. And bins means that I'm saying I want to have each bar of size 20. So that means 10 to 30, 30. No, sorry, I think there was some network challenge just happened. Okay. So what we're doing is, one is called as bins and one is called as bin size. Bins means the number of bars and bin size means the size of the bar. That you can choose any one of them. You cannot decide both the things, right? One is dependent on another. If you say you want 10 bars, so it will be divided accordingly. If you say you want a side bin, a bar of size 20, the number of bars will be defined accordingly. Now, this is the same thing that we are going to do over here. So on the age, right? If you right click on the age, if you just right click on the age, you will find the option of create bins. Okay, you have the option of create bins. Click on this. So now when you click on that, a dialog box will come up. So when you create bins, so what Tableau will do is Tableau will create a new field for you. The name of that field is age bin. And Tableau is automatically suggesting your bin size. that you should keep a bin size of 3.9, which is definitely not a good number, right? Because we will never keep the number in the decimals. I can keep it the size as 5, right? So if I keep the size as 5 and I click on OK, my new field is created. And now what I will do is, so I'll just wait for a minute so you can all just first create this. Yo. Right. So now this age bin that is created, I'll remove the age and I'll bring the new field bin. And there you see the chart is ready. So this is the bar for 15 to 19, 20 to 24. So it shows you the starting number, 15. And since we have kept the size of 5, that is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 5. 15 to 19 are in this bar, 20 to 24 are in this bar, 25 to 29 are in this bar. Then what I can do is I can increase the thickness of the bar so it looks like a proper histogram.
For the x-axis, can we edit the field name? Instead of showing age bin, can we just show age?
Where? This part?
Yes.
You can just right click this, you have this edit option of this. Just edit. Oops. Where is this? Maybe what you're going to do. If you want to rename this, you can also rename the field also, because it shows the name same field only. If you rename it, you want to call it as just age, right? So you can call it as age also, like this. It will come like this. You can rename it from here.
Okay.
Okay. So now, what we're going to do is I'm going to save this file. So I'll click on file and save. Now in this case, I can save this file on my local machine as well, right? Now, because I am using a licensed software and you all are using a free version, that is a public version. So you all won't be able to save it on your local machine, but I will be. So let me save this file. So now when I save this file on my local machine, okay, so there are two file formats in which I can save the file, right? Tableau file can be saved into two formats. One is called as TWB, another is called as TWBX. TWB stands for Tableau Workbook. TWBX stands for Tableau Package Workbook. Okay, these are two file formats in which you can save the file. If you will click on this type, TWB or TWBX, these are two file formats in which I can save it. Now, what's the difference between the two, right? We need to understand the difference between the two over here. When you save the file in the TWB file format, Tableau will save the charts, but not the data. And in TWBX, Tableau will save the data plus charts, everything. So when you save the file in the TWBX file format, Tableau will save the data and chart also in the file itself. But when you save the file in the TWB file format, Tableau is not going to save the data inside it. Okay, Tableau will not save the data inside it. So still, I think you all will have the doubts on this, and what does it mean? What does it mean it doesn't save the data? So let me tell you. See, if I save the file in the TWB file format, now the file is saved in the TWB file format. Now what has happened is Tableau has not saved this data. Tableau has not saved this data inside the file. Okay. Now, if I will close this file and if I'll open the file again, so what will happen is Tableau first of all is going to hit this CSV file. Tableau will hit this text file and it will load the data from there and it will update the charts. Getting the point? So what has happened in that case is Tableau has not saved the data. So when I close this file and I open this file again, Tableau will first of all, it will hit the text file. It will load the data from there and it will update the charts. Are you all with me up till here?
So if any changes has been made in the data, it will automatically update the charts.
Sorry?
If there are any changes in the values or if rows have been added, it will automatically update the data.
It will update the change. It will update
even more rows.
If there are more rows are added, so it will bring the more rows in that case.
Okay.
Okay. Now, but the challenge with that is, suppose if I share this file with all of you, right? If I share this file with all of you, TWB file format, will you all be able to open it?
No.
No. Why?
We don't have the data source, right?
Because you know what is happening is, while we save this file, what Tableau will do is Tableau has saved the file path, that where that file is saved. Tableau has saved that path. That is why, you know, when I open this file, Tableau goes and hits this path and loads the data from this file. Okay. But now, because if I will share this file with you, in your case, you might have this file. It might happen that you also have this file with you, but it is at some another location. So Tableau will not get to know that, right? So Tableau will give you an error that it is not able to load the data. So as a result of which the charts will not get loaded, right? And you will get an error in that case. But the same thing is not going to happen in the TWBX. So if I save the file in the TWBX file format, and if I share that file with you, you all will be able to open that file without any error, because the data is already saved in that file, right? The data is already saved in that file, as a result of which you will be able to open it up. Okay. So which file will be heavy? Will this file be heavy or this file will be heavy? TWBX, right? The second one. Why? Because it has the data also. This file, the size of this file will be heavy. Just give me 1 second. Huh? Okay. So now, you know, if you see over here, the second file is something that will be heavy, right? Because it has the data also inside it. Okay, this file will be heavy because it has the data inside it. But so do you think there will be any use case of TWB file format? In which scenario shall I be using the TWB file format?
If I just want to save it locally.
Sorry?
If I just want to save the file locally, I don't have to share it with anyone. I'm doing my own charts and calculation.
No, see, basically what happens is, don't you think if the data is saved at a shared location, right? If you're pulling the data from Google Drive, or suppose you're pulling the data from a cloud. Now, cloud is something that is accessible to all the people. The shared location is something that is accessible to all the people, correct? Like in the companies also, we have a shared drive, right?
Yeah.
If the data is placed on the shared drive and I have made my report from that data placed at the shared drive. So if I'll save that file in the TWB file format, so even if I share that file with you, since if the data is at shared location, Tableau will be able to access it. Tableau will be able to open it up, right? So in that case, don't you think it will be, because in the company when you work, most of the time the data is at shared location only, right? So as a result of which, what will happen is the file size will be small, and everyone will be able to also open it up also. I'm really sorry, this bed starts making a lot of noise. Okay. So are you all clear on this? The use case of TWB and TWBX? Everyone? Okay. So now this is an option that you will find only in the license software, not in the public version. But also from here, right? From the Tableau license software, also if you want, you have the option of server. I can save that file to my Tableau public server. I can save it to the Tableau public also. Okay. So I can save it to the Tableau public from my license software as well. It's not just that I will not be able to do that. So I can save it from here as well. So well, this is where I think we take a pause for today.
So in companies, won't we have a restriction to save this data on our own Tableau public profiles?
No, in the company we do not do it. We don't do it. They have given you the feature, but you will never be saving this data in the Tableau public in the company.
Right. Confidential data.
Because it's a confidential data which can get leaked. So we never save the data, any of our company data on the public.
So in these two, which one we mostly use in the real time?
It's more the TWB, because the data will mostly be on on your servers only, in the shared locations only. So mostly we use TWB only, but it is sometimes we use TWBX also, right? Because for example, suppose now you are my client and I have to share this file with you, right? And you will not have the access to my server. So I will have to save that file in the TWBX file format and then share it with you.
Okay. And can you tell me that previously we used that, what is that, live and extract? Extract usage is other than that storage space. Is there anything else?
No, so it's more the storage only. Basically, when the data size is huge and you want that compression on the data to happen, so in that case we use extract. Okay. So otherwise, and also live is also used in that case sometimes when you want a real-time reporting, that the moment the data gets refreshed in your data source, the data should get updated in the report also. So over there also we have to use the live connection.
Like on the spot updated data.
Yes. So over there also we have to use live in that case.
Okay.
I had one more question. So let's say we extract data on a weekly basis and save it on our shared drive. Okay. And we use one of the files which has, let's say, week 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we use week 1 file for creating our charts. And next week, suppose data gets updated. If I save it on the shared drive and if someone opens the file, does the data file has to be saved with the same name, or it will be saved with the same name because it's a shared drive? So if any other file is saved which has the same name, what will happen?
Sorry, I couldn't get a question.
So if we have one, actually, no, same folder will not have file with the same name. So that is okay.
So you cannot have the same two files with the same name.
Same name, right? But if we want to update the data, let's say every week I'm saving data, and now I want to update the charts with some other file.
Just give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry, can you ask the question again, please?
Yes. So my question is, let's say every week we are extracting data from a system.
Uh-huh.
We have week 1, 2, 3, 4 different Excel files.
Okay.
Now we create Tableau charts from week 1 file. And
Okay.
put it on our shared drive only that week 1, these are the charts. Now,
Okay.
want that week 2 chart is just an extension of week 1 charts, like week 1 data. So is there a way where I can link two files, or if I will have to manually edit the week 1 file by adding the week 2 excess data in it and
So
update the charts?
Maybe if I understand your question correct, you are saying, say suppose this is the this is the report that I have created. This is the file of week 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you get one more file on the same lines, but in that case you have the data of week 2.
Right.
Right. In the Excel you have the week 2 data now.
Right.
Now you want to bring that week 2 data in this, or you want to add that data into the previous the already existing file. What do you want to achieve?
I want to update the charts with week 2 data as well as week 1.
So you now your report should have the data of week 1 also and week 2 also, right?
Yes.
So what you can do is you can just add a connection. You can bring that new file also. You can click on the new data source. You can connect to that file, right? Like for example, in this case, if I again connect to that file, I bring the UK office supplies over here, right? So you can add that, bring that file over here, and you can add it below this. So you can append the data also if you want. Or what you can do is you can just click on add over here, click on text file, right? Bring that file over here. This is a new file. Okay. So what you can do is you can just, this file that you have now got from here, you can simply bring it below this. You can append it if you want. So if you want to append it, just double click on this, and I'll be coming to this. I'll have to show you this part, and you can append it below this way.
Will it remove the duplicate values?
Huh?
Will it automatically take care of the duplicate values?
No, this will not remove the duplicates. Duplicates will not remove. So duplicate, you have to take care that you remove that at the data source level. Tableau will remove that.
Okay. Or while working with the charts, can I use values for the? Okay, no, fine. We'll have to work it on the file level. Fine.
Because otherwise also if you will see, because the dates will be different, right? Week 1 date will be different, week 2 date will be different. So data is not going to be duplicate any which ways.
Yeah, true.
Right. Sure. So anything else on top of this? Okay. Hey guys, so tomorrow what we can do, today we cannot discuss much on the exercise. So please all of you work on it. So tomorrow we will discuss on it and then we'll move ahead. Okay. Sure. Thank you. Thanks everyone.